Are you ready to go to the next level? I was in a tournament, a real pinball tournament recently. And we may have to, that may be what we're going to have to do, because AtGames, you know I love to talk about AtGames. One of the main thing they did that was so freaking cool is they had this weekly tournament where they picked some arcade games, usually 3-4 arcade games, and then they added pinball games also. So whether you were a pinball player or an arcade player, you could compete every week and focus on a few games. Now, bear in mind, the AtGames Legends Ultimate comes with over 300 games. So that's an awful lot of games to focus on in any 1 week period. Who can do it? Nobody can. Unless you're just literally playing, even 300 divided by 7 is a lot. You'd have to play, 30 games, 40 games? Let's see, 4 times 7 is 28. 40 plus games a day to just play once during the week? Yeah, don't think that's a good idea. But they used to pick out a handful of games. Then you'd focus on them, whether it be like Alpine Ski, which I had last time a video about, or maybe Asteroids or Centipede or whatever it was. You'd have a small subset of games to focus on. Same with pinball. Now what they decided to do in their season 3 is they're just going to let anybody play whatever and submit any score from hundreds and hundreds of games. And the more scores you submit, the more entries into this contest for ArcadeNet, a month of ArcadeNet, perhaps a Core Plus bundle. I think there's a Legends Gamer Mini in there at the end of the season. So you're going to play, hundreds of games every week for a chance to win a $100 Legends Gamer Mini. I mean, the Legends Gamer Mini is kind of cool, but, I mean, who's going to spend all their life doing that? So their new contest, the new season they have, let's be honest about it, it's terrible. It's not a good idea. It's not even a decent idea. It's supposed to drive participation up, so you're going to play more games, and all it's going to have people do is just submit game scores to be submitting game scores. And you know what's even worse about this AtGames? You don't even have a system that shows what people have played. So in other words, if I submitted scores for 8 or 9 out of those hundreds of games, where do I find that information? If I'm not in the top 50 I don't even show up on your leaderboard. Under my profile, I can see that I was 361st out of 1,800 people or whatever. But how do you even know that you've been submitted to this contest? Because during their Halloween tournament, they had a promotional where you go to one page and you could see what was going on. And again, it was only up to 50 people, which is dumb. It should have been, it should have scrolled through the entire tournament. I just got done playing next level, Hillsboro, Oregon. If you're ever down there, it's about 20 miles west of Portland. Great place. Hundreds of pinball points. I played in an IFPA. That's a world ranked tournament. I'm nothing special. Any of you watching this can go play in one. There's probably some in your area. I'm going to put down in the links here a spot where you can go and find where those tournaments are at. All you do is pay the entrance fee. It's not a yearly membership, and you'll be a world-ranked player. Simple. Now, do they show only scores for certain people? No, they show everybody's ranking. They don't actually keep scores, if you will. But as you play in the individual games, whoever has the highest score is going to then be, first place, second place, third place, fourth place. You get points assigned. So it's a ladder tournament, and then they take those groups of people, whichever the first players or whoever the highest rank was, and then they play in a final round. But the point I'm trying to make is you are competing at an individual table and to get the better score, and you know where you're at. You know what's going on. This current tournament that we're having, Nobody knows what's going on. Does even AtGames know what's going on? I don't think so. What kind of tournament is that? It's dumb. You know, these are supposed to be where we're having fun. And you know what's fun to me? And this is what I'm going to do, because I don't know what AtGames is doing. But what I'm going to do is pick the games that I'm worst at. And I'm going to practice and better myself, my personal scores at those games. That's what I'm going to do. No, I'm not going to play 300 or 400 games just every week, just to say, to have a bunch of tickets in this contest for the random drawing to get a 1 month arcade net or a Core Plus bundle or whatever they're drawing. It would be one thing if it was drawing another AtGames Legends Pinball, which is like, $700. Even the Legends Gamer Pro is a couple $100. I get it, could be $100, but I mean, a Core Plus bundle, it's a minimal price they're giving away. Or cash. Cash works AtGames. Maybe you do cash. Do $100 cash. I think people probably would play more probably for something like that than simply a monthly arcade net. I didn't enter those tournaments for the prizes. Didn't. If you were or you are, then good luck to you. It's not that hard to win these tournaments because there's not a lot of people in the pool that are actually playing. The reason that I got into these was because it had me focus on a small subset of games. That feeling is lost. If you come to the Speakeasy, we're chatting with it about it in the AtGames sub-channel. I'll put a link in the description down there. But the bottom line is it's stupid AtGames. Stupid, whatever you're doing in Season 3. It's not going to work. So go back to what you did in Season 1 and 2, because that did work. It got people to come in, play, compete, if you will, even if it's against your own scores. You notice in the background, I have the I scored scoreboard, because that's the only way I can really keep track of what I'm playing and what I'm doing across a wide spread of systems, consoles, arcades, pinball, real pinball. I need to keep track of it myself because there's no single interface or single app that lets me do that. This does. I have to manually update it, but at least I can do that. And then I know where I'm at. I know what my best score was, so I know what I'm trying to beat myself. That's just what I play for. But the tournament that AtGames did, Season 3, it sucks. Yes, it's designed to get people. It's creative. I'll give them that. Whenever I think AtGames is going to zig, they zag. Which, give them credit. They do weird stuff when you think they're going to do stuff that makes sense. They have such a good thing. It was something that was unique to them. It was driving players, returning players to come back every week. And then they take they just take it and throw it in the garbage and say, no, we're going to do this instead. Okay, it's an experiment. They try it. Let's hope Season 4, they go back to what they did before. Pick out a selection of games, and we work on those games for the week. Because that's realistic for people with jobs, people that are busy, that they don't just play games all 24/7. That's a realistic thing to focus on. And I would recommend to anybody watching and really listening, do that. Because that's going to make a heck of a lot more expense than whatever this is, this weird experiment that AtGames is doing. Or here's a better idea. Like I said, go to a real tournament, real IFPA, International Flipper Pinball Association. You don't need to pay yearly fees. You don't. All you have to do is go to a local event. You actually meet people that play pinball and enjoy playing pinball. You're not gonna probably be number one. That's okay. Just participate. And you don't have to be the number one top world rank, but maybe you do. Maybe you're competitive like that. Maybe that's what you want to do. But at least these are events that are local. You can find them. Like I said, there's no yearly fee to become world ranked. Anybody that's watching this can do it. You just pay your entrance fee. Mine was $5. Very reasonable to enter a tournament. $5. They have ones that support charities where you can bring some cans of food and pay an entrance fee. Whatever. I mean, $5, $10, $20, still very reasonable. This place, by the way, if you're in Hillsboro, Oregon, again, $20, play all day long, opens at noon, closes at 11, so you can play games for 11 hours, all on free play. So, wow, great deal. I'm sure they have other locations around the country, If they have one in your area, I would check it out. I've got some footage of it. Maybe I'll put some of it up in a future video of being actually playing games in the arcade there. Some pinball tables, real pinball tables, virtual pinball tables. Seems like a good subject. But to close this, AtGames, change it back, man. Go back to where you were before, because the situation you have now, this current Season 3 tournament,